Okay, we're taking a look at completing a tax form. This is part 2 of completing Paul Brown's taxes. And where we left off, we left at the bottom of page 3 of the Schedule 1, where our T1 General, where it asked us to go to a Schedule 1 and fill out some more forms. So we're taking a look at the Schedule 1 for the 2016. And the first step, we're told, is the non-refundable tax credits. And the first one is the basic personal amount, and we're going to claim $11,474. Now, if you make less than this basic personal amount, there are very few circumstances, if any, that you will wind up needing to actually pay taxes. And so this is why we probably would have taken Paul's RSP money and actually used it for a subsequent year. We take a look, moving down, we see CPP contributions, Canadian Pension Plan. Now, Paul has not contributed anything to a Canadian Pension Plan. However, this is a significant zero, and you will need to fill this in if you contributed anything through CPP. Paul is also given to EI, and that is on line number 9 here, 10726, and that is from box 18, of his T4s, and that is from both of them because he has completed this more than once. As we continue on moving down, what we find is that there is not a lot here that is actually relevant to Paul. He has not bought a house. He doesn't have a child arts amount, public transportation, medical expenses, etc. One thing that I do want to just highlight, as many of you are students, is the fact that tuition in post-secondary, you will want to make sure that you are hitting lines 24, 25 as they will be relevant. They're not relevant to Paul's case, but they are relevant, and so adding these numbers up gets us a total of $11,581.26. We'll multiply that by 15, which gets us $1,737.19. And then we see that we need to deal with the donations and gifts, which will be Schedule 9. Now, Paul will be able to use those gift receipts in other years. However, we're just going to show it now as part of your future tax assignment. And so we're going to move to the Schedule 9. Schedule 9 is shown here. We'll start off with the first part here, and Paul has got $300 in donation receipts. And therefore, as these other ones are not applicable, donations to universities, United Nations, or other government bodies, he has given a total of $300 to, 300, not 3,000, 300. Where his net income was $5,700. 75% of that gets you $4,275. Right? If line 5 is less than line 7, then we enter it on line 13 below. And so that amount here is going to be going right here. And we can skip all the rest of this because we don't need to worry about it. So we take a look. Paul has got on line 13, $300. Nothing of ecological gifts, which means that this value is $300. Next line, it says enter 200 or whichever is less. Well, 200 will be less than 300, leaving us with a total of $100 as well here. And those are going to be subsequent things. The next stage here, we'll need to remember line 16 and 17. However, because we have less than $200,000, we can enter a line of 0, an amount of 0 here, and move on. This next part here at 29% is line 17. That is $100. And underneath we've got $200 on line 30, because this is from line 16 and 17 above, right over here. 29% of 100 is $29, and 15% of 200 is $30. So we've now completed this up to line 31. Finishing this off, because Paul has given an amount of first-time giving and using it, we can use the first-time donor super credit. We have a maximum of $1,000 that we can put here, and so we are putting in 300 times 25% gets us $75, combined with the 30 that we had here before, as well as the 29. It gets us 105, 125, $134. Okay, and that is the amount that we are then going to put on line 349 of Schedule 1. So moving back to Schedule 1 with that number of 134. For the donations and gifts, $134 right here. Means that the total amount we had $11,581.26 here. Sorry, wrong line. We had $11,581.26 here, multiplied by 15%. Gets us $1,737.19, and to that we are adding the 134, which gets us $1,871.19. Okay, I'm going to continue on to the next page. Now, Paul's taxable income was $5,700. Right, that was on line 260 of our original return, which brings us into this particular tax bracket, which means that we're not having to worry about anything else. So we've got $5,700 times 15% gets us $855 owing $855. Okay, that number is going to move down here where we're going to put $855. $855. Right, just completing this portion of the form. Now, that seems like a lot of tax considering Paul's only made $5,700. However, we do have particular tax credits that we will be able to use and reduce our amount. In this case here, we're entering line 4. We're entering, so we had $855 here. So we've got $1,871.19 in our tax refundables. That's line 36 from the previous page, which means $1,871.19 can be exempted from this. So we've owed $855. However, we can take off from that amount $1,871, and we see here that we have negative taxes, so we enter a 0 here. That's going to wind up with net federal tax of 0, and I know Paul has actually paid some money. However, he actually does not owe any money for those federal taxes, and those zeros are going to continue on into line 61 and 64. This is the amount that we are going to be entering onto line 420 of our standard tax return. We also now need to complete the Alberta taxes. So taking a look at the Alberta taxes. Alberta taxes are going to be found on page at the TAB 428. Runs very similar to the Schedule 1 basic personal amount, $18,451. Line 6 is significant in the fact that it is our CPP and EI, $0. There, again, if he did have CPP or EI contributions, he would have to be doing it, but you're really just copying it straight from your Schedule 1 here. So now this is 0. We also have our EI earnings here on line 8, 107.26. And going to continue on down. We're going to keep working with those numbers until we get to our donations and gifts amount. The donations and gifts amount, he had $200, which was on line 16, and $100 on line 17. So that gets us an additional $20 and $21 for a total of $41. So we're going to add $41 of credits to those previous amounts. Gets us $18,599.26 within credits. And as you can see, we're going to continue on to the next page, keeping in mind that particular number. We can see for Alberta, line looks very similar. Our net income was $5,700, and so that brings us into the lowest tax bracket. Okay, subtracting that is $5,700 again. 10% of that gets you $570 plus 0 from the lower tax brackets, because we are in the lowest tax brackets, means $570 is actually the taxable income.